Okay, so I want to just create a really quick tutorial on how to make a digital map. We're going to use Google Maps. There are a lot of different tools you can use for this, but this is probably the best way to go just because it's free, it's easy. So I'll just kind of point everyone toward this one tool. So the first thing you do, you go into your Google Drive. You may want to go into the folder where you want the map stored, because remember, with everything in Google, there's a front end and the back end. So this is the back end, just like your website that you edit. There will be a front end that you share with me. So I'm going to go in and click on New, go down to More, choose Google My Maps, and then you'll see this interface right here. You can add different layers. That's up to you. Well, first of all, we're going to change the title. And I'm just going to say, oops, can't type today. All right. I'll just go into, so I can do a search here. Okay, so that brings me to the TCU campus. And I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so there's the campus right here. See if I can, that's probably about good. Now I'm going to change the, notice this is just kind of like the street view. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change it to satellite. There's all kinds of different ones. There's terrain, an atlas, just different types of maps. I'm going to use satellite. That's a little cooler because you can actually see the buildings. Okay. So once you've got the view that you want, you can really use any of the views. It doesn't have, the base map doesn't have to be the satellite view. The thing with Google Maps, the one thing I don't necessarily like is that it's already marked up. You can already see spots on the map here, so you want to add your own. So for instance, there's two things you can do. You can either, well, there's kind of three main tasks. So you can either put a pin, so I'm going to click on add a marker. Notice I've got the little plus sign, so we'll go here and I'll click on that and I'll put education complex. Okay, I'll hit, if I want to add a picture now I can, so I can do that. You can do a search, so I'll just do a, I think I have to go here. There we go, Google image search, and I'll do, there's our, I'll choose that one, hit select. There's, hit save. Once I hit save, you can see those GPS coordinates. You can change the color of it. You can even change it to a different icon. I could say that's home base. Change it to, of course, purple, right? Why not? And you can add more description. You can click edit. So you got a few choices there that you can do. Okay. Once I'm done with it, I just close it. Now I'll see that on my map, and that's what comes up. So that's how you mark different waypoints on your map. And then you can see over here on my layer, it shows up in the menu. Okay. We'll do one more. I'll just click here, and I'll just, let's see, I'll go right here. I'll just say frog hinge, frog hinger. Let's see. Let's see how, if anything shows up. Look at that. Choose that one. Actually, I think I'll choose that one. Hit save. And again, if I want to change the marker, I can change it to a different color. There's more icons in here if you want to choose. You don't have to spend a lot of time. Let's see if they've got a frog hinge icon. Probably not. So we're just going to go ahead and stick with the one that we have. Okay, so you can see there's my 2 waypoints. The second thing you can do is if you want to shade in an entire area. So for instance, I can add a line or a shape. You can put in different types of routes if you want. I'm just going to I'll put in over here, this is the practice facility for the football team. See how every time I click, it puts a dot. And then once I go back to my original, I click on it, and I'll just say hit save. Kind of tells me like it's 6.17 acres. Tells me that it's about a little less than half a mile in circumference, or not circumference, in perimeter. Sorry. If I want to shade it something, I can go in here. I can do purple, and I can change the transparency. I can make the border as thick as I want. So maybe I want a little. Okay, still kind of, maybe it'll adjust later. So I've got my 2 things. So there's an area, and that shows up in my list as well. All right, so that's the first thing you do, is you create your places on your map. Probably the easiest way to find them is you can just look stuff up here, and then that'll take you to where you want to go. Okay, you can add directions if you want, and add different types of directions, but that's only if that fits the kind of map that you're doing. Okay, telling me my screen time here. My screen time was up this week. Really, you think? All right, so I can look here, and this is a preview of what people will see when you share the published map. Okay, you probably want to title the layer. I'm going to close that. So I'm actually going to delete this layer. I'll call this TCU. Okay. Still not sure why that is. Trying to make that a little bit more opaque. You should be able to see the practice facility through there, but the map's not updating very well. All right, and so the last thing you'll do is you just go to share, and on your website, when you actually put in a link to your map, this is the link you'll use right here. So I can copy this, hit done. I can change this so that anyone with the link can see it. You just click on who has access, click change, and change it to anyone with the link, hit done. If you don't do that, I won't be able to see it. Then I paste that in there. And there's my map, okay? So that's how you do that. And then you'll see here, there's my map. So if I want to go back in later and edit it, I can just open it up that way and edit. And any changes you make will show up automatically on the published map that you just created. All right, so that's how to create a digital map. Start working on that. Make sure it goes along with your theme for your social studies of everything. You can really mark waypoints in any way you want. If you have questions, send me a message. We can talk about it. I can give you some ideas if you're stuck. So, all right, good luck.